I like the loading screens there. Okay, dungeon here.
I had no idea it was so roomy underneath that flower.
Can I get some hearts here? Some not hearts. Some gem thingamabobs. There's one there. But yeah, I still generally liked Octopath Traveler 2, but I feel like it could have been a little bit more distinct. And I feel like at the end for Galdera, and them also... Oh yeah, I forgot I had a jump button. I'm gonna be honest. I see the HG2D style and I just assume that I don't have a jump button. I thought that with Galdera and them apparently super buffing V-Day after the fact, after I had stopped playing, is just like the most insane... What's the word? Not level scaling. Level jump difficulty spike I'd seen in a level-based turn-based game maybe ever. And I get making your super boss really hard, but it still pisses me off that Caldera and Octopath 2, I would try everything that I could think of. I would get to max level, I would use like all my stat boosting items, I would still have like not a chance, so I would start following online guides that would do it, and if things don't go perfectly, it still doesn't work. Like, so I get making things hard, but, and I guess it doesn't have to be, like, it's not as important for it to be beatable as the main game. Like, if the main game final boss was that hard, then that'd be a lot more of a problem. And maybe it is now, after Guzma was telling me that V-Day was buffed up to all the high hell. But, still, it just ticks me off that it's like, you want to beat him, you gotta be using very specific builds, and even then, you might not be getting it. Like, come on, that's a little bit much. So I'm pretty sure my Octopath 2 series is still at, like, what, 129 parts? Ending on a very unsatisfying number. And me kind of being perpetually pissed off at Octopath 2 about that. I'm just wishing that it was more of a different kind of game. Oh, and then that gets reflected back. That's cool. Okay. I gotcha. And then with the Switch 2, Bravely Default was released on it. But many things that I can say about that. So Bravely Default on the Switch, it looks pretty much exactly the same, just like bumped up. Is it just called Bravely Default HD? So I mean, it literally is true to form, like, hey, it's just the game but in HD, which is the same thing you can already do in an emulator. And with them having to put it into 16:9, the UI elements that used to be on the bottom screen of the 3DS now have to be on the main screen. So looking at the trailers, it looks like they're kind of along the bottom row of the screen, which just isn't as visually satisfying as the bottom screen. So I would prefer playing the 3DS version anyway, even playing the 3DS version on emulator, or I have the distinct top screen and bottom screen, because I really like the way that it handled the top and bottom screen within those games. Okay, this is just the easy way back up, or that's the easy way across, or something like that. I can't jump up that, but I can go around this way, it looks like. So I just didn't really have much reason to play it over an emulator anyway. Like, if they're gonna keep the same kind of chibi look of the 3DS, which I think looked fine enough on the 3DS, I think it looks kind of ugly as hell, bumped up into like full 16:9 on the, oh, it's only available temporarily, or is this a different lily pad?
Show me what you've
Yoink.
got, Nice.
But yeah, I would just play it on emulator anyway, because I can get the same graphics, and I get the layout that I like better. What was I just saying with the thingamajig there? Oh yeah, I think that it looks fine on the 3DS, but in 16:9, like, full screen like that, I think it looks kind of ugly. Like, I really wish with Bravely Default 2 they hadn't stuck with that style, but they did, and so while Bravely Default and Bravely Second, I felt like, oh yeah, I guess it looks fine for the 3DS here, like, I can't really complain or anything. On the Switch, Bravely Default 2, I think is frankly a really ugly game. Oh, this is the one that I opened up here. That's what it was. I am getting myself all mixed up here, playing on autopilot. So I really didn't like that. I feel like Bravely Default 2 runs completely contrary to the idea of making your own builds and finding your own solutions. Because that's what Bravely Default and Bravely Second are really good at. Like, you could find things that absolutely break the game, but You come up with your own strategies, you can find a way forward that way. Whereas Bravely Default 2 just kind of spits in the face of that and expects you to use, like, certain setups for certain bosses with them, just, like, resisting so many things. Like, in Bravely Default in 2nd, it'd be pretty obvious, like, don't use fire on the fire enemy. There's enemies that'll just, like, not take any damage by straight-up weapons like swords or something like that in Bravely Default 2. And then you gotta change your whole kit around on a certain character, and it sucks, man. And the whole counters and everything, like, I've gone through this song and dance before. I just really didn't like the gameplay. The music rocked. The music's the best part about it. And the story, oh my god. Explode, everything going on with Adam, everything going on with what's-her-face's sister there, and her just being forgotten. Seth being just like the most generic character ever. The whole it being a video game not being used in any interesting ways, despite clearly being canon with the whole somebody came and helped you through the fog and it's just not used in the story in any way. It's just such a mess. You go into the elf village and them being like, okay, go to the bottom of the cave and you'll find something that'll help you take on the final boss, the, what was it called? The Knight's Nexus. Go to the bottom of the cave and you'll find something that'll help you defeat the Knight's Nexus. You go to the bottom of the cave. Surprise, it's the Knight's Nexus itself with no explanation. And then you beat it and that's the end of the game. It's like, what the hell is this story? It's such a mess, man. Careful not to get sucked in. By the way, if you hold down the weapon button for bombs a little longer, you can carry a bomb instead of setting it down right away. Might come in handy if you wanted to throw one somewhere. Okay. Interesting. So this... Oh, I can't just hit X. I have to hit A and then X? No. It'd be nice if you could just hit the button directly to assign it, rather than having to hit A and then A on the corresponding slot. Will be rather nice. Wah! Okay. Okay, I gotcha. Makes sense there. Boop. And then, of course, there's the fact that if you want to break the game in two, of course you could break the game in two in Bravely Default and Bravely Second, with like these super crazy combinations and multiple different elements working together. You want to break the game in Bravely Default 2, all you have to do is use Beastmaster and get a lot of comfort animals. Congratulations, now you win. No strategy required. Like, that's not cool, man. You could break the game in such cool ways in Bravely Default in Second, but in Bravely Default 2, it's just use Beastmaster. Like, then you win. It's so dumb. Like, I really do not like Bravely Default 2. Boop. And then, of course, with Bravely Default on the Switch, another thing is the fact that it's a game key card. The only real addition, the only real selling point that it would have over playing the original game when I like the UI and general look of it better on the 3DS is that there's new mouse control mini-games. I don't know what the quality of those are like, maybe they're the best thing ever, but I would have never once thought in my life, if only Bravely Default had mouse control mini-games, you know? Like, I don't really need that there. But the whole game key card thing really, really ticks me off. So 13 years ago, and 2 consoles ago, the game could exist on the actual cartridge. But now, in 2025, 13 years later, 2 consoles later, it can't even exist on the cartridge. You can either buy the game digitally, or you can get a cartridge that gives you a license to download it digitally, and, you know, like game key cards do, you only have access to play your digital game that you've installed when you have the key inserted. Like, if I'm buying something physically, I want it to be on the physical thing that I'm purchasing. Okay, that, yes, I gotcha. I'll grab the chest over here first, is what I think I'll do.
Show me what you've got.
Show me what you've got. Magicite, Bomb Master.
I bet this magicite will be a bit
How do I equip the different things there? Map, inventory, phase, system, memories? I don't know, it's fine here. But yeah, how the heck does that work? It was on a 3DS cartridge just fine. And they're not even fully remaking it, they're just kind of like bumping up the graphics, shifting around the UI there to work with a 16:9 layout, and then adding mouse control mini-games. And now it can't even exist on the cartridge anymore, even though the original existed on a cartridge just fine. So, like, what the hell, you know? So that really, really pissed me off. Like, game key cards in general kind of piss me off for publishers that are using that. But what an insult to injury it is for a 13-year-old game that released 2 consoles ago that existed on the cartridge. Like, what an absolute slap in the face. So that super pissed me off. And I was like, yeah, I'm not purchasing this. There's no way. I'm not supporting that. And then Octopath Traveler 0 was announced, and it's like, oh, well, there's another Octopath game. Pretty soon after the last one there. I'm pretty sure Octopath Traveler 1 was 2018, and then Octopath Traveler 2 was 2023. And now we're getting another Octopath Traveler game in 2025, just 2 years after 2, and it's like, okay, well, that's pretty quick succession. I mean, I'm pretty octopooped, quite frankly. But, a rare monster, Jeweler, gosh damn it. If you come across this tiny fiend, you may have hit the jackpot. It'll drop tull with every thwack as it flees. Actually manage to defeat it, and you'll be in for a nice windfall. Okay, so run over this way and... Okay. Okay. Let me just get these guys here really quickly. Well, he's gone, so. Gameplay-wise, it looks like it builds off of Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent, what with you having, like, 8 active party members, and it switches between groups of 4. I thought that was kind of interesting in Champions of the Continent. I kind of like my group of, like, core 4 more, especially because in Champions of the Continent, maybe it's a thing that I'd unlock later, but it just seemed like I couldn't revive. So, like, I lose somebody, and that could also be because freemium gacha game, like, maybe there's characters later that would be able to revive or something like that. I lose a character, and they're just, like, gonzo for the rest of the battle. And it's like, well, now I have 1 squad of 3 and 1 squad of 4, and life sucks here. I'm sure it might be different in Octopath Traveler 0, but I just wasn't as big a fan of that style. But, like, maybe they're applying that idea to something that's not a freemium gacha game and actually has some potential. I don't know. But I wasn't the biggest fan of it in Champions of the Continent, because it felt like everybody was so dang weak to make up for the fact that you had 8 party members, but then somebody goes down and now you're just crippled because, like, now that's not a full group there anymore and sucks to suck. So maybe it'd be handled differently in Octopath Traveler 0, but yeah, I was not exactly the biggest fan of that. And Champions of the Continent myself, poisonally, oh, I can go over this way, it looks like. So that doesn't exactly excite me too much. The thing that would excite me the most is the music, because my goodness, Octopath Traveler music has to be, like, some of my favorite stuff ever. But the whole game key card thing. So, if you buy Octopath Traveler 0 for the Switch 2, it's on a game key card. It's not on the cartridge. But, if you buy Octopath Traveler 0 for, like, the regular Switch, the Switch 1, whoops, it is on the cartridge, since I guess there isn't game key cards for Switch 1. So, if you want to have a cartridge where you actually have Octopath Traveler 0, you can buy the Switch 1 version, but it's stuck as the Switch 1 version forever, because unlike Nintendo's games that have, like, Switch 1 and Switch 2 versions, there is no option to upgrade later. Square Enix announced that themselves. They're like, yeah, this is what you get then. You, make sure that you're getting the version of the game that you want. So, if you own a Switch 2, and you want to own a physical copy of Octopath Traveler 0, your options are either get a game key card, and then you don't have something physical, you just have a license that you insert to access your digital version that you've downloaded, or you get the Switch 1 version, and now you have something physical there, but you're stuck playing the Switch 1 inferior version and can never play the Switch 2 version unless you purchase the entire thing separately. And either digitally or game key card only. Those are your only options. So it pisses me off. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't get around to showcasing this demo for a while, is because this whole division of Squeenix that's behind, like, the Bravely Default and Octopath Traveler and some related HD2D stuff here has just kind of been pissing me off lately. And I'm sure this game is going to be a game key card on the Switch 2 as well, which means I might not be getting it, because I do not want to get any game key cards. I'd like to own my things actually physically. I do not want to have there be the day where, like, the servers go down, and now this cartridge is essentially useless unless the game is already on your console. You know, it's just a little piece of plastic that unlocks my digital purchase. I hate game key cards. When they were first announced with, like, Switch 2 stuff, I thought that it would be a thing that just, like, maybe a small handful of really greedy publishers use and isn't, like, the norm or anything like that. But it seems like almost all third-party games on the Switch 2 so far are game key cards. What the hell is going on? I was chatting with one of my cousins about that, and he had said that this isn't confirmed, so there's no way to know this for sure, but he said that according to some sort of leak, so whether it's true or not, who knows, the only things that Nintendo is providing to third-party publishers for Switch 2 are 64GB cartridges or game key cards, is apparently the case. Morning, Reggie Bump, how's it going? This looks important here. So I don't know whether that's true. You know, nothing's been said officially, so there's no way to know. It was a leak, supposedly, so who knows whether or not it's true. But, you know, on the Switch 1, third-party publishers had access to, like, 2GB, 4GB, 8, 16, and 32GB cartridges, I believe. Whereas on Switch 2, I've heard that apparently it's only 64GB or game key cards, so that might be the reason why so many third-party publishers are using game key cards. But one way or another, it's still not something that I exactly want to purchase. And, you know, even if it's not these third-party publishers that are being unbelievably greedy by using these, gosh dang it, these game key cards, and it's really Nintendo that's to blame, that still doesn't mean that I should request resurrection. I continue from last autosave, I guess. I still think that as a consumer, it's still important to not purchase those to still signal this is not something that consumers want to get, and it does seem like there is a decent bit of pushback to game key cards. Because whether it be Squeenix at fault in this scenario, or Nintendo, if consumers make it clear that this is not what they want, somebody that's responsible might have to be like, hey, maybe we should change things. Maybe whether that's Nintendo actually providing different sizes of cartridges to third parties that are reasonable for them to put it on, or third parties maybe stop being so greedy if they're the ones that are responsible, or whatever the heck is going on with this whole kerfuffle. So that's the whole situation with game key cards. This is an interesting looking game. It was announced during the Nintendo Partner Presents there. New HD2D game. The last autosave wasn't the very beginning of the level, was it? So they announced a new Octopath Traveler game and a new HD2D game that seems to be in the style of like the 2D Zeldas. Did it actually... It actually restarts you from the beginning of the entire damn dungeon. Unbelievable. Yeah, this is the very beginning of the dungeon again. Ha. Welp. That sure sucks, doesn't it? Ironically, they might be increasing their Switch 1 sales because, you know, still physical copies. Yeah, might... Gosh dang it. Might just be the case. Like is the case for Octopath Traveler 0, where it does exist physically on the cartridge. I was reading the page for this game. Apparently there isn't going to be a Switch 1 release of this game. Just like PlayStation, Xbox, Switch 2, and PC. So if I ever did play it, maybe I'd play it on PC or something like that. I don't know. Okay, something like that there. Yeah, I like the parry thing with this game. I think that that's pretty cool there. But yeah, it really sucks that there's not even an option to upgrade, so... Yeah, either you get the inferior Switch 1 version, or you get a game key card with Octopath Traveler 0. So, like, I've been asked before if I'll be playing Octopath Traveler 0. You know I've already covered Octopath Traveler 1 to a decent smidge of Champions of the Continent, so clearly it's something that I've done a lot on my channel. But with Octopath Traveler 0, it's a strong maybe. Honestly... One, because of me being pretty octo-pooped after this is coming out pretty soon after Octopath Traveler 2. Like, this isn't that much of a gap. And two, being pissed off at, like, the whole situation with this kind of area of Square Enix with the other releases lately. And two, three, I don't know what numbers are, apparently. It being a game key card. And I have no intention of purchasing a game key card. So if I ever did play Octopath Traveler 0, it would probably be on, like, PC or something like that. And if I ever... do a full playthrough of this game when it's out next year, then it'll probably be on PC as well. Probably be the case. Because I have no doubt that this'll probably be a game key card as well. Just seeing the trend of where things have been going so far. So yeah, it really, really picks me off? I don't know how to words here. Really, really ticks me off. So I don't know who the heck is responsible for this nonsense, whether it's Nintendo or greedy third parties. But whoever's responsible needs to know that this is not going to work. I, as a consumer, I'm not going to get it. And ideally, lots of other consumers won't either, and will also choose to not support it. And signal, hey, something's got to change. We want our games on our cartridges, you know? Because, yeah. Yeah, this is a demo. This game's coming out next year. So, this demo actually released, like, right after the Direct, and I meant to get to it sooner. I'm trying to wrap up different things that I've been trying to do before Fragapalooza, because it's currently, well, now it's after midnight, so it's the 4th of August. Oh my god! And Fragapalooza is August 7th to 10th here, so in just a few days, Fragapalooza is going to be going on. So I'm trying to wrap up some of my other projects around here. And I actually meant to whittle away a bit more at Persona 5X. Another game that kind of ticks me off, because it's like, why didn't they just make a new, start-to-finish video game? Why do they have to make a new Persona 5 freemium gacha garbage game? I'm trying to showcase just a little bit of that to get an idea of what that game's about around here. So I wanted to do that tonight, but of course, like live service gacha, sometimes it's gonna be down for maintenance, and it turns out it's down for maintenance tonight. So instead I switched to playing Mario Kart, showcasing the last little smidge of that I had to. Unlocking mirror mode. Oh my god, yikes. And then I switched to this. I had the option of either this or make some more progress in my Assassin's Creed Valhalla playthrough, and I was like, you know what, let's do this. And I would have done this sooner if it wasn't for me being so dang pissed off at Squeenix and the game key cards and all this nonsense. Because there's no way if Octopath Zero is a game key card that this game isn't a game key card when it releases next year. There's no shot, man. Nothing over here. I need some more health. Maybe I shouldn't have played the demo on hard mode. But yeah, so
That one's all sparkly.
Octopath Zero, don't, you know, assume that I'm for sure playing it. There's a decent chance. Maybe I pick it up on like a Steam sale one day or something like that. But, yeah. What's come out from this kind of area of Squeenix lately and the whole game keycard thing just has me really quite pissed off right now. Is what's going on here. I'm in a state of pissery. This game seems pretty cool so far. Like, I shouldn't be bringing down the mood when I'm playing this and it's like, you know what, this is actually kind of cool. It's probably going to be a game keycard too and piss me off. But this game actually is kind of cool. Really?
You need healing, and quickly.
Do I have, like, any items? Inventory? Items? Because nothing was filled up there. Is there anything that you can do to, like, help me here? Oh, you actually... Oh. You actually do some very slight damage. Oh, that's what happens if your shield breaks. Okay. Get him! You do, like, nothing, though. Alright, well, this is scary. I don't want to have to do the dungeon again here. I was swinging my sword, man! So if I request resurrection here... Okay, it revives you with full. I wonder if it costs more and more each time. Because, I mean, I've already gained, like, 300 by traversing this dungeon, because I started out at, like, 100-some going into this. So, I mean, losing 100, if it's from time to time, it's not that bad, right? Maybe you'd restart if it's the beginning of the dungeon. Maybe that's the way the game wants you to lean. Whoa. Get out of here. Okay. Also, with the whole HD2D style, as always, it does look really nice and charming, and I do like it. But, oh yeah, another HD2D game that I forgot to mention I did a playthrough of, Live Alive. I quite like that game. That was such a weird game, though. But I did like it. But, while it is charming and I like the look of it, it's no longer novel, now that it's been done so much. Like, when Octopath Traveler first came out, I thought that it was really, really novel, that idea of, like, the whole HD 2D thing. But now there's so many HD 2D games. Octopath Traveler 1, 2, Champions of the Constant, Octopath Traveler 0, this game, Triangle Strategy, Live Alive, the Dragon Quest games there. Like, it's not really a new novel kind of thing. Like, of course, it still looks good, but I'm not gonna have my socks be blown off anymore by this cool, charming pixel style. Something else I feel like is worth mentioning there. I feel like I was super excited to see a Pac-Man game. I considered getting a remaster. Then the rug is pulled, saying, oh look, it's a key card. Yeah. From what I understand, from what I've seen, almost all. I was trying to get out of there. Almost all of the third-party Switch 2 games so far are game key cards. Like, it can't. There's no way it stays like this, right? I think I was watching a GameSpot video, and they were saying that, like, 85% or something like that of third-party Switch 2 games so far are game key cards. There's only, like, 2 that aren't game key cards or something like that, and that's, like, Cyberpunk and something else. Oh, I have to break it while it's down. I gotcha. Oh, the game as chonky as Cyberpunk. I would have thought that it would have been one of the game key card games for sure. But apparently it's not. It and something else. I forget what the something else is. But apparently, like, all the other third-party Switch 2 games so far are game key cards. It's like, this is ridiculous. So yeah, when the game key cards were first announced, I was like, oh yeah, it's just a thing that, like, an occasional greedy third-party developer will use and not really be the norm. And now the unusual thing is having the game on an actual cartridge from the third parties. Like, of course, Nintendo's games are on their cartridges so far with, like, Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. But if you're a third-party title on the Switch 2, and you're not on a game key card, that is very unusual. It's like, what the heck? That is so sad. Being an early-on Switch 2 owner is not exactly panning out so far. But yeah. I don't know, have you seen all the AAA games that are pushing over-the-top realism? What, for, the game key cards? Like, what? For, like, warranting that? Or what you mean? What is this in reference to? Did I miss a bit here? Or are you just saying, like, the charm of this? Saying don't think this style will die out that easily. Oh, I don't think it'll die out. But I just mean it's not a new novel kind of thing anymore. Alright, well, I got the big key here. Like, it's still nice, but it's not, like, breathtaking anymore. Okay. Damn! Okay. I do like the whole risk-reward with the whole parry thing and shield. Whoa! I don't know how that didn't hit me earlier, honestly. Okay. Oh my god, this is insanity. Oh, crap. I hit the shield button, dang you! I hit the shield button there too, I swear! Well, guess I'm doing this here. I wonder how much there is to this demo. All the HG2D game demos I've played before are usually pretty chonky. Blah. Please. Dang it. Okay. Get you out of here. Come on. Whoa! Okay. So that does that. Cool. But yeah. This is actually being used in a genre that's not turn-based this time. Yeah, it's the first HG2D action RPG from Enix. Is something very different. Oh, that's a checkpoint. Use Unexplored Ruins Key 2.